Donnie B, GotDaBeats.
Good evening, everybody. It's Donnie B got the beats. We live for the latest edition of the beat. This is season 7, y'all. I say it every chance I get. I'm elated to keep pivoting with this COVID pivot, man, and keep presenting talented, dope professionals and entertainers and just really great people at every chance that I get. Tonight's episode will not disappoint. But for those that watch, you know what time it is. It's time for that glorious intro, y'all. Here we go. So 2023 is, as I've been saying that this entire season, it's a very pivotal year for me. This is a year of change, and I got to be able to go to the Grammys for the first time, and be in the room and in the building, as I said. But I also, for the second opportunity in my life, was able to be on a panel of some of the most prestigious individuals that I've come to know. Really good friends, really good family. While I was at that panel, I met this lady here, and I gotta say, I was totally blown away by her personality, and she's very engaging and very endearing. And she invited me as a guest on her podcast. Where are you? And it's where are you now? Maybe where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Sorry. And so, and so I had a blast on the platform, and it was only right for me to return the favor to have her back, because people need to understand, we a lot of times as hosts uh, try to extrapolate people's stories, but this lady has a beautiful story, and a very good perspective on life, in my opinion, obviously. But I'll leave that up for her to explain it to you guys. But I'm enamored, I'm floored, and I'm honored and humbled to have Lady J, Stephanie Jefferson, on my podcast. She's the host of Where Are You Now? How are you doing, Lady J?
I am excited. Let me say this, and thank you for inviting me to be on your podcast. And so let me help you with this, because so many people say it's where are you, not
Okay.
where are you now.
Okay.
No, that's fine, but it's where are you.
I,
So
I,
thank you so much for the invite.
no problem. My apologies on that, ladies and gentlemen. See, Donnie got to do his homework, ladies and gentlemen. I knew what I wanted to say, but sometimes my brain goes
That's
in front of my mouth, you know. So without further ado, I'd like to get into these things, man. Make sure while we're here, if you guys are watching this at any point in time, even if it's live or after we get off the live and you watching this back, feel free to like and follow and subscribe to Lady J on Facebook. She's under Stephanie.Jefferson925. Make sure that you like, subscribe, follow her, and you can also comment in the chat here. BTP Media, Jeff Kwan and the team. Bay Area tapping in, and Lady J, you gotta tap into Jeff Kwan, man. He's holding the Bay down, man, and he's actually a really good friend of mine and a good connect with a lot of talent and celebrities on the West Coast. Jeff Kwan's an amazing person. So Jeff, make sure you reach out to Lady J. Lady J, reach out to Jeff, man, and let's expand this network.
okay.
I had a lot to say.
Well, I guess the question is, where am I? Is that my question?
No, I think the question, we want to get to that question.
Right.
The first question I want to say is, again, like I said, thank you for joining. I want to ask, who is Lady J? I want you to tell people in your words, just who are you? What is your brand about? If anybody were to ask you who is Lady J, you tell them this.
Um, First of all, I would say I am a child of the King. So that describes who I am, partly. But I am a person that is on a journey to doing what's right, to doing what's right according to the kingdom of God. And let me say that.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Make, yeah, make sure y'all tune in, man. Get y'all pens and paper ready. This is gonna be a good one.
Look, I know that probably like, is that it? Well, a lot falls underneath of that. And so I am a person who of integrity. You
Okay.
know, I can say great character because I believe that is something that you have to grow into. And so I am in that season in my life of improving myself. So let me say a season of reset.
Okay. That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay. Okay. All right. Now, could you do us a favor for those that are not familiar with Lady J and Where Are You and the brand and everything that you're putting together? My next question is pretty standard for most of the guests to come on. Uh, could you let people know growing up in where did you grow up? What was it like for you growing up there, and how did you overcome any hurdles or obstacles to become the success that you are today?
Oh, I thank you for considering me as a success. So let me take it back some. So I was born and raised in Southwest Baltimore.
Okay,
Okay. And so can I just take it to the place of how did it become to be Where Are You?
sure.
Okay. And so my brand is called Where Are You? And so what happened in 2020 when the pandemic came, I was scared. And so for me to say that to most that know me, like, she was never scared or anything. I always was one who kind of took life by the hand, very adventurous, um, like to succeed in whatever I do. Um, I was always competitive. Let me say that because a lot of people wouldn't say it, but I am, I was always, because I always wanted to win.
Mm,
And so even to now, like if I was to start like a new job, I tell people all the time, my husband always say, don't give them too much too fast. And so that is all that I know. I just don't believe that if you um well, I believe that if you're going to do something, you should do it right.
right.
No. And so with the pandemic, when the pandemic came in 2020, I was very afraid. Um, And so I didn't want my husband to go out to the store. I didn't want my nephew to go out to the store. I just wanted to be the one. I believe in the Bible it's called a lioness.
Mm,
So, the lioness is the one who go and take care of everything, and the king, which is the lion, he just, he relaxed. And so that's where I was, and so I'm a person of faith. And so, because of my fear, it led me to come and sit where I am and start reading every day. And
mm,
so, whatever book to read to me was the Bible. And so, I sat here, I began to read my Bible, and I was like, okay, so where am I going to start? And so, I started at Genesis, the beginning. And so, when I got to Genesis, the third chapter, the ninth verse, and God asked Adam, where are you? And it just stung me. I stopped. I could not get past that. I just could not get past that question. And so it was like I was referring the question to myself. Like,
mm.
where are you? Stephanie, where are you? What is like so I was answering I was looking at it like God was asking me, where are you? What are you thinking about? Why are you so afraid? Haven't I always taken care of you? Like, what is going on, with you? And so I had started writing a sermon. And so I had said, maybe God wasn't asking him geographically, where are you,
Mm.
Adam? Because God knows everything. So, I'm playing it out in my mind. And so I'm saying to myself, well, God is probably saying, like, Where are you? What are you thinking? What are you doing? I told you you can have everything except for this.
Right.
And so, like, where are you? And so that just stuck with me. And so I wrote a sermon. And so I believe like a couple of weeks later, my husband asked me, for those who don't know, my husband is a pastor, Pastor Lamar Jefferson of Labor of the Harvest Ministries. Look, I had to get that shout out right. And so there you go. And so I, spoke like a couple of Sundays, ago, a couple of Sundays. That was my message. And so that has stuck with me ever since then. And so that is a question that I ask myself daily. Where are you? Where are you mentally? Where are you physically? Where are you emotionally? Where are you financially? And I had made a post a while ago, to say that that is a question I believe that we need to ask ourselves. Where are you? And if you ask yourself that question on a daily basis, every day your answer is going to be different.
Right. Understood.
Yeah, every day your answer is going to be different because we know that life revolves, nothing stays the same. And so today I could be good mentally, but tomorrow I can wake up and it can be a whole new different thing, right?
Right.
And so same as financially, emotionally, I think that that is a question that you just can't get around. And so that is how it began with me. And so a friend of mine had started a radio station, and she said to me, um, God told me that you would be one of the people that will come on to, have your own show. And so I did that for a while. And then, my husband said, you could do this on your own. You can have your own podcast. And so God bless me. I have, a great audience. Every Saturday, I come on every Saturday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. every Saturday. And the question is, where are you? And so I have people from every walk of life to come on, whether you're an entrepreneur. I mean, I've had people to come on and really make you think about that question, because that is a question that you just can't get around. I have people that came on that I would never forget one show, and I speak about this so often. I had a person to come on, and we were supposed to be talking about her financial state and how she is working towards being a millionaire, and eventually we did get to that. But when I asked that question, where are you? And she just said, just thinking about how she survived from being molested at the age of 5.
Mhm.
That was not a part of the plan. You know what I mean? Because that wasn't, but when you think about it, the question is so deep. Where are you? And that's it.
Yeah. I mean, the question is almost a ministry in itself. I mean, it's a ministry of self exploration, right? And I think it harkens back to that old phrase that like my parents raised me on. This is like how do you know where you're going if you don't know where you are? You know,
Absolutely.
so in order to be geolocated with life and your place within that life, you have to know where you are. Where are you? What if you call the cops and there's an emergency or you have an ambulance coming in, the first question they ask you, where are you? Like,
Absolutely.
so I think that definitely resonates. It definitely resonates. And I gotta say, when you asked me that question, I had to think about it. Like when you asked me to come on, I had to prepare myself, so I was not taken back by it and stuttering and slipping and sliding all over the podcast. But I love that question because it prepares you for impact. You have to be prepared to answer and prepared for the next walk of life. And that's just my belief in it. And that's why I love that so much. It was definitely a great opportunity to share energy with you and have that discussion because not a lot of people ask that question.
You know,
Definitely.
Donnie, it's funny because again, you can ask yourself that question today and tomorrow it's a total different answer. And one of the things where with me with 2020, because of the pandemic, we was all cooped in the house, and it gave me an opportunity to look at some things and to look at myself, self-examination. you
Mm-hmm.
know in 2020, I lost my mom, so that kind of, it was unexpected, and so that was one of the things that I wouldn't say that set me back. It was a growing moment, let me say that.
Okay.
Even to the question, because some days I would sit here, I would cry my eyes out, and
Right.
then it was like, where are you? Come on, get it together. Not saying that we shouldn't cry, but you don't want to stay there. So I had to talk to myself. I had to ask myself that question. Um changing occupations. For those that knew me, that know me, I was in retail for 34 years, and so that question is still today. And I think I spoke to several people about that, where identity crisis,
Mm.
that was a question that because I was a boss, all those years. And so then I took a position where I'm not. And so then it was like, okay, where are you with that? So every day it's like I have to ask myself, where are you?
Mm. Like I said, make sure you have them pens and pads out. I mean, definitely, definitely something to make sure that because again, like you said, it's a guide on, right,
Hmm.
and it
Hmm.
helps to keep you grounded, and on firm footing. If you can answer yourself that question and answer it accordingly, so definitely pivotal information. Make sure again, as I said, and we have her Facebook math down here at the bottom. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow Lady J, and you can subscribe to Where Are You podcast on Facebook as well. What is the link? Can you let us know what the link is? Do you know the link?
So, well, you can just go into my page. My page is called Where Are You?
Okay.
And so, but then I also have my other page, which is Stephanie Jefferson. And so you can go to that page. And then once you do a friend request, I'm able to connect you to Where Are You?
Okay. Okay.
Let me tell you, Donnie, it's so funny because I had a banquet. I had a banquet in April. And so as my husband, as he was introducing me, and for me to come up and to say something, and it's so funny because my husband said that, well, one of the things he was saying, that he was so proud of me that I proceeded to go on and to do this, and it's been such an inspiration to so many people, and God has allowed me to meet so many beautiful people such as yourself, just to come on. And I tell people all the time, my podcast has nothing to do with me. It's all about the people who come on. It's to inspire, to encourage, and to motivate others. And everyone has a story. And
Yeah.
there's no small story. There's no bigger story, because it's all depends on where you are. We are all in a different place. And so my husband, when he got up and he said, he was so proud of me. He said, and y'all know my wife is not that savvy. And that was funny to me because you sent me the link here. I go, oh God, let me get my husband, or let me get my nephew, like, come up here, help me real quick. And so I was just like real funny to me. Like, so when you asked me with a link here, I go, okay, now Donnie, now look. But yeah, my show is and I'm looking for, and let me tell you what I'm looking for this season. I'm looking for more men. I'm looking for more men to come on. I'm not discrediting the women at all, but men they normally don't, well, most men normally don't talk as much. And so, but you got a story to tell. And we want to know, we want to hear your story. We want to know how you made it from this point, from that point to this point, or what you're doing. If you're an entrepreneur, tell us. Just come on and just let us know where you are. That's what my show is all about. People coming on, just telling us just where they are. That's it.
Absolutely. Pastor Lamont, put the link down in the bottom for us. 'Cause man, I'm trying to tell you, you got somebody to ride or die right there. He's like, baby, I got you.
So
I got
he,
you. Yeah. I got you. That's what we talk about. Man. We the holy matrimony, boy. I try to tell you. I love that, man. That's support, man, and that's a beautiful thing. But make sure you guys like and subscribe and follow. Where are you? Podcast on Facebook, and also Stephanie Jefferson, Lady J on Facebook as well. Um, so, Lady J, I want to ask you the next question. Why are you going through all of this stuff? What, in your opinion, would you say are or were your biggest obstacles in establishing yourself with this podcast?
Oh wow. I didn't give it any thought, to be honest. I just felt like it was something that it had to been God ordained. And let me say that because when you go on social media, you have to deal with critics.
Mm,
You have to deal with so many different people and personalities, and that was never thought like with me. It was just like somebody need to be encouraged. Someone need to be inspired. Again, I've had so many different beautiful people come on and just tell us their story, how they made it from this point to that point and how they started their businesses and, you know, when their husbands walked out and they had children and they had to, start all over again. And, when their, loved ones died and, different things like that, just like their own success story. You know
right,
what I mean? People just coming on and being honest and just telling us where they are and knowing that where they are, they have not always been, whether it's good or bad.
right,
You know, because it's not like everybody come on the show and they like, okay, I have arrived. No, we're all still striving. We're all still pushing. But just come and tell your story. You know, again, it's just to inspire others, to encourage others, to motivate others. And that's a good question because I never really gave it a second thought. Do I be tired? Yeah. Because every morning I work Monday through Friday. My feet hit the floor no later than 5:30, quarter to 6, Monday
mm,
through Friday. I get up every Saturday to come down here to make sure my computer is right. Like I said, I'm not that savvy, so I don't want to bother my husband, right? And so I get up on Saturdays. I come down here like about 6:30. Make sure the computer's set up. Everything is good. No glitches, right?
mm,
On Sundays, I have to get up for church. It is not a day that I do not get up early.
mm,
But I believe that this is God ordained. People want to come on, people come on, they tell us where they are. Um, and it's ministry. I thank God that and again, I don't take no credit for it. Even at my banquet, I didn't know that people actually felt the way that they felt.
right,
They said, just coming on and getting a chance to meet me and, talking on a telephone. Cause I try to keep in contact with mostly everyone that has came on the show, whether it's a text or we, socializing on social media or, anything,
right.
and I just know it's God ordained. Everybody has a story, and everybody don't have someone to talk to. You know what I mean? Like everybody, and so I can be your friend. We can talk. But the thing about it is that we're encouraging one another. I spoke to a young lady today, and she came on my show. Her name is Miss Crystal King, and she came on and she talked about how her husband died unexpectedly, suddenly, and she did cakes for Murray and DL Hughley family and all of this, right? DL Hughley's wife, that's who she did a cake for. And she did one for Murray and someone else, another celebrity she did, and to me it's like, wow. And you know what is so funny? Because when I ask people to come on, and they be so excited. But I'm so excited that you said yes. I told him, I said, y'all acting like I'm Oprah or something. But I just be so excited because they say yes. again, because it would not be Where Are You if people didn't come on, and just telling your story. And so her and I, we were talking today, getting back to Mrs. King, and we were talking today. And again, I just expressed, I'm so sorry that this, happened to you, the loss of your husband. And I told her, I don't know how I feel, but if you want to talk, we can talk. And so we talked like the whole 45 minutes on my way home. Cause sometimes people just need someone to talk to. I
Yeah,
need people to talk to sometimes, I need to be encouraged, sometimes. And so I think everybody need encouragement.
I agree. I agree. And to me, that was one of my things with this podcast as well. So I'm in the tech industry, obviously, as you can see for the shirt. And so COVID happened, and I actually was one of the ones who was still out there in the streets working. But obviously things shut down. You don't know when things going to turn, come, open back up. What does this look like? So my thing was, well, what do I do at the time that I have when I'm not out in the streets, working and so forth and so on. And I got to thinking, I was like, well, I do, Zooms and stuff like that every day. Why not do this? But what wound up happening was, after like the first 2 or 3 episodes, it became a forage for me to be able to have to share testimonies into the universe. You know what I mean? And we discussed that on your platform, where I'm a a parent, and my kids are back on the East Coast while I'm out on the West Coast. And what better way for my kids to be able to understand and get to understand who their father is and the people that he's met through this platform? You know what I mean? And to me, I just, like you said, it's a way of sharing stories and like throwing your story at the universe, and allowing the things to stick so that people can go back and watch it and go back and review. And I think that's the beauty of it, is that if you do it right, then all of the gravity in the world you will become all of the gravity in the world. People will gravitate they'll gravitate to your story. They'll gravitate to you if you do it right. You
Mhm.
know, and I think that's the beauty of it. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there that just don't get that. There's people that clout chase. There's people that, well, you don't have enough followers, so I don't. Well, I never heard of you, so I ain't gonna go. And at the end of the day, every chance I get, I'm gonna tell my story. You know what I
That's
mean? So that's how I feel it.
I what I've learned is that people love transparency. Because I know a lot of times people look, well, oh, well, she's married to a pastor. Okay, but I'm human. And so even on my show, we talk about, different scenarios and circumstances, different things, right? And
Right.
how would you handle it? And sometimes people always want you to be here when they're not. I had said before, people want you to be where they're not. And so I express myself, and I express myself freely.
Right.
you know I'll say, well, I'm not there yet, or no, I don't think I want to do that. My show is Christian based, and so you don't have to be saved to come on my show. It's called Where Are You? It's no judgment zone. The only thing, I have 3 things that I say: make sure you're in a space for like an hour and 15 minutes where there's no interruptions, your lighting is good, and no cursing. That's all
Right.
I ask. That's all I ask. Because again, where are you? We are all in a different place and space, right? And
Understood.
so I on my show, it's no judgment zone. It's no judgment zone. I just ask, like, don't curse. When you get off, if you a cursor, go ahead, but don't do it on my show. Again, it's no judgment zone. But my show is Christian based.
Understood. And they should respect that. I mean, that's your platform, and that's people get to tell their stories through your lens, and through your platform. So they gotta, it's like walking through somebody's house to get to the other side of the house. You gotta, if somebody wants you to take the shoes off, you gotta take your shoes off while you go to their
Right.
house. Yeah,
And
yeah,
I have not had anyone that was disrespectful. Everybody has been so pleasant. Again, I have people that had called me and text me and asked me, how do you get to be on your show? And I said, like what you just did. Like tell me what you talk about. I have people that has came on that wants to come back on, of course. And it's funny because when I met you, after the segment, I went around and I have like stacks of cards and they're on my dresser and I have to call. I've been really blessed because if I go through my book, I believe so far I can fill up to maybe like November. And
Nice.
so, I mean, God has been kind to me. I just have to call the people. I'm filled for June and July, and I think I'm filled for August. Yeah, yeah. And so I have to, start back. And what I do, my husband had told them, my wife is a Facebook stalker. And I do. I go down your page, I see positivity, you got a story to tell. Come on and tell us. Tell us how you started that business. How did you get your food truck? How did you you know manage and being like a single parent, whether you're a mom or a dad. Tell us what it's like to grow up in a household where your parents were strict and your dad is a pastor and your mom is in church your first thing. Just tell us how it is with college, your first year of college. What was your the things that you went through. What were your struggles? What were your fears? We just want to know, where are you? That's
Right.
it.
Yeah. I mean, but again, like you said, it makes people personable. People are consistently, especially in the entertainment industry, built up to be something that they're not. So, like you said, the transparency for people to find some things to latch onto or to relate to, or has some sort of relevancy to, is grand. Like that's the thing. Like you said, so why not be truthful? Why not have that transparency between the guests and the host, so that it can be a unique platform? I don't. I tell a lot of the guests that I have on, it's just I don't believe in shock jocking like that.
Correct.
That's you know what I mean. Like, and there's a place for it, obviously, but
Right.
that's just not me. I'm more of a candid individual. Like, who I am is who I am. Like, this is like, you know. So I feel like I am the draw. I feel like the people that I bring on, they are the draw. That's the whole point. That's why they're on. So more people need to understand that's how I believe that's how it should work. You know what I mean? But more people should understand that those principles, and I feel that they will be just fine. Be just fine.
And so, Donnie, we were talking about when I met you with the power of shut up.
Yep.
And let me say this, oh my God, Saturday, I had Dr. Tanoa, she was on, and we were talking about that segment there, the conference. And I had over 100 comments in a box. And I was like, this lady, Miss Lisa Dove, is really not knowing that that was the lady from the Power to Shut Up. Oh my
Yeah.
God. It was so funny. And so I can't wait until, she come on. And let me tell you, that was such a powerful conference.
Yeah.
And that is something now that I'm actually practicing. The power of zipping it. Everything don't have to be said. You know what I mean? And I love that it was a panel of men and women, getting to express. Again, I love to hear men talk about where they are, and being able to express freely.
And I appreciate you for saying that. And this is also a very, very near and dear topic to, this topic is near and dear to my heart, because obviously I'm a male. We don't have a lot of. I always say that I feel that black men in particular are endangered species. They just truly are, and I feel like who is our beacon, who is our voice, because and there's again no disrespect. I was raised by a single mom. I got older sister. I got a baby sister. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm surrounded by women. I got little girls. You know what I mean? Like, and it's difficult for us to have a voice these days because everybody lists everybody else, every other race up above us.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like I said, I still go by people, and people clutch their purses. People don't look at you in the eye when they see you coming. You know what I mean? They walk right by you and then go talk to somebody else.
Right.
Like, what are your thoughts? Because I know you said that you want more, that you want more men on your programming. But what are your thoughts with regard to that? How does that make you feel? Do you agree? Do you disagree? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think we spoke about it before. I agree with everything you said, wholeheartedly. I do believe that when you said that our men are endangered species, I do believe that. Again, where are you? That's something, let me say, that is one of my prayers every day. Like to pray that my husband and my nephew make it home.
Right.
That's my that is my prayer. And when my husband hit the door, it's like, okay, you can go to sleep now. You know what I mean? That is no,
Yeah.
really, that's how I
Yeah, I
feel.
figured.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Like we had prayer during the day. He called me. It's just a blessing just to hear his voice. And that's a shame that you have to say that, but it is what it is. It's the world that we live in now, it's society. Even being a woman of faith, and so I exercise my faith in praying. That's what keep me sane. Let me say that.
Right.
Um, and so yeah, I mean that's just where I am with that. Again, I'd be transparent about a lot of different things because a lot of times we try not to say things, but when we say them, we want to say them appropriately. Let me say that. And so we want to make sure that we are not hurting anybody's feelings or anything like that. But I am a realist. And so, but as far as men speaking, and I think I said this to Dr. Tanoa on my show on Saturday, going to that conference, it has taught me so much. And I said, my husband and I, we just celebrated 13 years, our anniversary. And I
Congratulations.
said, you know what? It was the best. And for my husband to post it, he put it on Facebook like one of the best. Like, what? Like 13 years? And that's one of the best, really. But but I knew what it was because I shut my mouth. I told her if he turned down a one-way street, as long as it wasn't driving into the ocean, I wasn't. He could just make a U-turn. Because women, we always this. We always just gotta like okay, if you say he's the king, let him be the king. You know that you can just like keep it going. And a lot of times now that can be hereditary too. I've always been a line leader. Always had to be the line leader. I mean, that's just, you know, what I did. I always took control, always been in charge. Again, my personality just like that, like running businesses, things like that. And so it's like, okay, but you ain't running this. He's the head of the house. Sometimes you gotta tell yourself, sit down, shut up, get yourself together. And so that's a conversation I have now with some of my girlfriends that's married. Like, girl, don't mess up. Go somewhere and sit down. Close that gap.
I love that, and I gotta chime back in for Pastor Labat because he said it succinctly. Black men been under attack from day one, socially, economically, spiritually, and educationally, and he's absolutely right. Uh, there's definite examples in history that you can point to and approve everything that he just said. Correct. You know what I mean? And it's ridiculous, but I want to say the fact that you say all of these things and you have the poise to enact it and live by it and not be bothered with it. In today's society, I'm talking about in the world of Andy Cohen's got the 411 and the Real Housewives and everything, and everybody, yeah, caddy. I think my biggest thing is for power shut up, like
Mm-hmm.
you said, because it's interesting at the age, when you get in your 40s, or at least when I got in my 40s, it was one of those scenarios. It was like a light went off in my head. It was just like, you know what? Anybody that's you can tell somebody when they're prepared for matrimony and that long haul, and they can truly understand how to appreciate you being me as a person. is that they allow you to be, and they hear you. They wait for your dialogue to understand how to play off you, how to bounce off you.
Mhm.
And more times than not, and I'm dead going near 10 times out of 10, but we're going to say 12 times out of 10, somebody always got to answer your sentence for you. Well, how you feeling today? Well, I'm feeling okay. Well, nah, because wait. You know what I mean? Well, you
Yes,
asked me.
I think that's just us. We so
And it's like, for me, it's like, how are you going to say, like, you asked me a question about how I'm feeling. Are you going to wait for my answer, or are you going to tell me how I'm supposed to feel? And if you are telling me how I'm supposed to feel, what gave you the high authority to be my voice? You know, I only got one mother, and you know what I mean. And as arrogant and as immature as that may come across to some people, I got one mother, and she don't even really tell me what to do. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things as to where it's like, but not you trying to go on a diatribe here. I'm saying from a perspective of, I think it's a blessing to be able to exercise the power of shut up. Again, like you said, shout out to Lisa Del Washington. Um, in her conference, in her book. Make sure you guys like and get the book as well. Um,
I shared that information on my page. But Donnie, let me say this.
good.
That is something with the power of shut up. That is something that has to be taught. And so with me, I was taught that. And that was from my nephew. I would never forget. Like, I said something to him, and anybody who knows me know I love him like, well, he is mine. That's why I call him mine. And so I said something to him one day, and he said to me that hurt him because that's not who he is. I always just like, I overprotective, always never gave him a chance to speak up. Like, come on, we going shopping. I'm gonna get you this. Okay, how you know if he want that?
Right.
I'm coming up to your school. I'm gonna do this. How you know? Come on, I'm taking you out to dinner. How you know that's what he want? And
Right.
so he said that to me. I'm telling you, it pierced my heart. Like, no, sit down. Stop running over people. Like, and so that was the first episode. That was before I even knew about the power of shut up. And then once I went, and it was just like, wow. Do you ever listen to your husband? Like, your husband hear you. And so I had to, I'm trying to think if it was you or the other young man on it. Because I'm telling you, I was just like this, like, come on, like, give me some good stuff. Like, men hear us, but you react differently. But you hear us. We don't have to keep saying it.
Right.
And so when I realized that, I said not too long ago, oh, my husband hear me. Yeah, he hear you. He hear everything you say. How he not going to hear you? You nagging him. You getting on his nerves. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, he hear you. Just give him a chance. Like, he's not just doing, like just you. He has to do himself too. He has to do the home. He has to do this, the job, the school, the this, the this. Like, give him a chance.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it has been, let me tell you, it has been great for me.
Yeah, and I think once you actually get the principles of it, it's great it could be great for everybody. I don't like, I'm a believer. I'm a firm believer, and I don't. Why do we need to argue? Argue is not it's not necessary. Like, you win. You want to watch Vanderpump Rules? Watch Vanderpump Rules. I don't care. Like, it's not like you said. It's not the end of the world. Like you said, if you driving head first down into, now I ain't gonna be so lackadaisical, laissez faire. If you go on a one way street, that I ain't gonna be laissez faire about that. We gonna have to turn this around ASAP. But I'm just saying, you know what I mean? I do exercise a ton of trust, and at the end of the day, if I'm asking you how are you, I'm asking you how are you, so I can know how can I help to make you better. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people don't understand that, especially it been my experience, and heck, even my mom. Love my mom to death. She gonna kill me for this, but mom, ma'am, you know, she'll be she's the ringleader, boy. She'll tell you, hey, how you doing today? I'm good. No, you're not, because I know you did this. Wait.
That's what we do. That's what we do.
But see, but that's what I'm saying. But then cannot appreciate or does not appreciate the reciprocation.
Mm-hmm.
So see, my thing is this: I was raised and obviously in a perfect world. If you what you get out is what you know what I'm saying, you reap what you sow. What you put out is what you receive, right? So if I give respect, I should be owed respect, right? So
Mm-hmm.
if I'm listening to you, you should be listening to me.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing too is I don't listen to respond. That's the whole principle behind the power shut up. I don't listen to respond. I listen to digest because
Right.
if I'm here with you and we are partners as people, because everybody, well, I'm you not telling me what to do. We supposed to be partners. Okay, well then, okay, let's partner. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. Give me sustainable, give me actual reasons as to why you feel that you don't want to do this or this is not beneficial. Cool. Let's talk about it like adults. Don't insinuate. Don't, hey, why you always in your phone? What's going on in there? Uh, business. Like, well, why you always on social media? Because I do business on social media. Well, why did people, bet you got people slide your DM. Okay, Columbo. I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, but it's, to me, it's one of those things is if you learn to quiet the noise.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody in the world is out to get you, and you have to trust your instincts when you come across somebody to allow them to show you who they are. If they
Mm-hmm.
show you who they are, then that's one thing. You know what I mean? If you catch me slipping, and I hate to put it in other terms, but I mean, obviously that with anybody and everybody, if you catch somebody doing something, then you caught them doing something, right? So then that point is irreparable damage done. Then it's like, oh, okay. See, why you on social media? Remember that one time I had caught you on social media, so blah,
Right.
boom. But if there's no evidence, there's nothing in there. What are we doing, right? So with that being said, because I just took over your daggone interview, ain't that about it? See,
No,
so
look, I'm loving it. But you know what, Don? You know what I want to say for all the viewers and the listeners that the power of shut up is not just for relationships. It's for
absolutely,
every
that's
walk of life.
mm-hmm.
Like everything does not has to be said. And so I guess like if the question was to come to me to ask me like, so where are you?
Where are you?
I am also in a season of repentance. Let
Oh,
me tell you, and any like my friends, like I had one of my friends said to me, "Oh, I miss you because we don't talk in the mornings because I'm taking that ride, me and Jesus, because I need to talk to him about some stuff that I did. You know what I mean? And so I just want to like be sorry for the things that I've said, that I've done, make sure I'm kind of like clearing my plate clear. You know what I mean? And
right.
so I'm just like I'm thinking of a lot of different things that I've said that I've, mainly said. And so it's interesting that you said like everybody isn't always out to get you. And so that was my take, my mindset. And that was my father was like that. Like choose our friends. Like don't go because I don't can't play with them and you can't do this and you gotta watch them because that person is and I was like, oh, you just making me like you scare me. And so me, it's always like on a defense.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so it was more so I'm going to say something before you say something. I'm
Yeah.
going to get you before you get me. You know what I mean? That type of thing. And it was just like, no, that's not good because everybody ain't out to get you. Everybody don't think that way. And so, again, think about things that we say and do because on at the conference we even talked about you guys talked about on your job. Like
Yeah.
sometimes you just want to like come out and say, okay. And even with me, identity. Remember, I said sometimes I still go through that. I'm being transparent. I've been a boss for 34 years. And when I switched occupations because I wanted to, And so still I gotta realize, okay, if that manager is doing that wrong, shut your mouth and just do what you gotta do and go home. That is not your responsibility. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so the power of shut up, I spoke about probably like about a month or so ago. I went to and I did it again today. I went to the gas station and the lady told me that she couldn't refund my money back to the pump because the pump wasn't working and I had to repay it and had to wait for them to refund my money later. And oh wow, why did I just like, here I go. Oh no, you don't, because I used to manage stores. Well, girls, you know, I cause you can't tell me, and it's like, really? And I had to laugh at myself when I went back to my car. I was like, girl, you need to sit down. We need to have a segment on identity crisis.
I'd love to have that because I'd be having my own too. I wanted to throw out there too. Pastor Lamont also shared. He said the system has tried to turn the black woman against the black man since slavery, and in the name of the independent woman and woman empowerment, the system wants to keep the black or brown males down. Our sisters have to identify the play of the system. As black and brown men, we must operate as leaders, protecting, respecting, and providing for our sisters. And I definitely agree with that. He also said, responding instead of reacting. To respond requires thought, and it's not always done verbally, especially with mature men. And I'm definitely for that, what he says, because I'm definitely I'm a big advocate of that. Like I'm that dad that I just look at you. I'm that husband. I'm that boy. Well, I've never been married, but I'm that boyfriend that just I would just look at you. Is you finished? Is you done? Like, what are we talking about? Why? Like, I hear you. I heard everything that you said. I can repeat everything you said verbatim. I can tell you exactly why it's relevant and why it's pertinent. Now, why you mad?
Yeah, that gets on our nerves. My husband does not argue. He does not believe in arguing. And women,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say, oh, I'm gonna speak for myself because I don't want the women to get upset with me. I'm gonna speak for myself. So, like, I will hold it on to the next day. And he is like, that was yesterday. Good morning, give me a kiss. Because yesterday, he's not like that. And that's funny because I'm just like, well, we ain't never resolved it. To him, it's resolved. Okay, what's the issue? Move on. Don't stay there.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's one of those things as to where it's like, okay, you said your piece. You said it. I was very good.
No, you got to fuss with it.
Well, because my thing is this. It's like, I heard you. You know what I mean? Like, you don't ever take the trash out. I will take it out now. See, this is what I'm talking about. You want to? I'm taking it out now.
And that make it because now you're being nice about
it. It's the expectation to react. You want to evoke a response,
right?
for control. And it's that you don't gotta control, like you don't gotta be in charge of everything. Like you don't have to be in control of everything. Like at the end of the day, you can say you don't like. Why does it smell like that? You should just do, light an incense or something. Cool. You know what I mean? Hey, you need to chew on this stick of gum because you just really need to because you're gonna brighten everybody's day when you do. You know what I mean? Something to that effect.
Right.
It just but we don't gotta. What are we fussing for? Why we fussing? Like what? And like you said, it's just one of those things as to where it's innate that I guess. Well, you don't ever hear me when I'm talking. I hear you all the time.
Yeah, y'all hear us. Yeah, y'all hear us.
Yeah,
but you don't say nothing. So that's silence. I think the men been practicing the power of shut up a long time ago. We just maybe that's why the guys on the panel, maybe that's why y'all did so well. Not saying that the women did, but y'all was like really in like this is elementary to us. And with us, we like, no, we got to keep on going. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the keys to the bro code is just understanding you respect everybody at the place that they are. Period.
I said, where are you? Where are you?
So I respect that. That's cool. You were like my brother Niles came in with the cap. I was like, okay, this brother got the cap on. He looking pretty GQ in there. You know what I mean? Like he came through with it. That's what you know what I'm saying? I came through with my little tuxedo. You know what I'm saying? Like we in there. You know, I don't need to
Y'all represented very well.
that thank you. So, to me, it's one of those things. I think that's the key with men. Men, we know how to work issues out, and even if it comes to fisticuffs, we understand that that's what it's going to be. Now we can go in and we got that out of system. We can get back to business as usual and keep it moving, or part ways indefinitely. Either or, we have the course of action. This is what we're going to do. This is how I can get my return on my investment, or this is how I get my answer. Boom. But it's like this whole I gotta yell loud noises. Did, did you win or what? Like,
Like
so
I believe y'all been practicing it a long time. And we just catching on. Again, it is something, it's not just in relationships, it's in everyday life. Sometimes you just don't even have to say anything. I remember I expressed that I was in a line one day at the market, and the guy, it wasn't nice. He had said to me, he turned around, Caucasian guy, turned around, looked at me, and he just said, you can just run right on out. You ain't got much. What?
yeah, what does that even mean?
Right. And so he was like, in the mall the other day, and a young lady just ran right out. And let me tell you, I just was like, I I don't, I can't even tell you where I can't even tell you where I was at that time, because I didn't give it to him. I just said, well, I used to manage stores or whatever, and I used to tell my staff all the time, like, don't chase after people, because and it could have went another way. I was telling him about my previous profession and what I used to do,
Yeah.
and so when it was time for him to get up, he said, I'm gonna pay for her stuff. Put her stuff on it. You put your stuff on the counter. All because I believed that I didn't open my mouth. If I would have really, I would have gave it to that guy, like really gave it to him. Like, I was even proud of myself when I walked out that store. I'm not a cursor, but I would have given it to him. I mean, probably would have wished the words that I would have used. He probably would have said, I wish she probably would have just used curse words or something, because she really gave it to me. Like, yeah. And I was like, thank you, God. I zip in that mouth. I think that was one of my first experiences from going to the conference, and something happened, and I just didn't go off or whatever. And I was like, okay, God, this really worked, huh? Like, okay.
It works. It works, man. It's definitely great medicine. It's a great medicine for the soul. Should you choose to wield that medicine? I want to. We are really close to time, and I definitely enjoyed the conversation. But I want to get some more nuggets from you really quick. What advice? No, let's take it a step back. How do you feel that you've paved the way for young talent? And I say young talent, but we're going to change this for you. How do you feel you've paved the way for people that are aspiring to try new endeavors through your platform?
um Not to be afraid, just to be who you are. Never try to be anyone else, because God made all of us different. And so just be who you are, come and just be authentic, you know, most of all realize where they are, and being transparent, you know, just communicating. On my show, Donnie, we talk about everything. We even talk about going to therapy.
Mm.
It's just being open. And so, again, I thank God that it's no conversation that we haven't had. And if it's a new conversation, I welcome it, because it's just about people coming on, inspiring, encouraging, and motivating one another to say, I went through this, you can do this. So I just pray that my podcast has been a blessing to many.
Mm. I love that. I love it. I love it. And the Well, the other question was advice for aspiring talent, but I think you already answered that with that last question. I think this is the single-handedly the most important question on the podcast, and I say this all the time. Uh, how can people learn more about you, or learn more about your podcast, and connect with you in order to get on the podcast the whole night? How can they do that?
Okay, so I'm quite sure my husband is probably about to put that in.
There
Mark,
you go.
yeah, he's gonna. And so my page is called "Where Are You?" And so then you can also go to my Facebook page, which is Stephanie Jefferson. And
Mhm.
I believe it's a picture of me and then a picture of my husband and I in the background. Yeah, it's a picture of my husband and I in the background from my banquet. And then it's a picture of me on the front. And so if you're interested in coming on my show, just send me a friend request. And I do be honest, because I feel like you can, you know, a lot, you can find out quite a bit about a person through their Facebook page, you know. And so what I do, I go down your page, I see what you post, I see what you're talking about, you know, and I'm just saying where you are, you know, where you are, you know, and just come on, you know, you can come on a show, we'll get a chance to um, talk, and, you know, prayerfully, your story will be able to help, to encourage, to motivate someone else. You know, again, everyone who comes on my show, you don't have to be saved. It's just Christian based. So the only thing I ask is no cursing. Again, no judgment zone. Because wherever you are, that's where you are. And so my show, I believe, is to allow people that normally would not have a chance to come on social media or podcasts, to let people know. I've had so many positive results when people said that they came on and they had their, you know, their small businesses. When I say small business, meaning they just starting off, you
Right.
know, how they have by coming on the show, you know, people supported them, because at the beginning and the end of the day, we're all in this together. So it's no big person, it's no small person. We're just coming on, just loving on one another, right? And
Right.
I thank God for all my viewers, all my listeners who interact, you know, as far as posting questions. And so people can see, you know, that they're not the only one. See, it's good to know that when you're going through, that you're not the only one that has been through or may be going through. Because a lot of times we feel isolated,
Yeah.
you know. I had spoke about well, I've said it a couple of times. My husband said stop saying that. When my husband, when we got married, my husband was a minister. He wasn't a pastor. I didn't sign up for that. You know, he was like, stop saying, but no, but it wasn't in a negative way. What I was saying was that I married the man I love all to myself, but he
Right.
became a pastor. And so, you know, that's a big job. That's a big responsibility. And so it could be, we could probably plan date night, but if someone call and they need to be ministered to, or someone is in a hospital or they sick or someone passed away, that is his obligation to God. And I understand that. I understand that. It's not like he's pushing me on the side, but I had to grow into that. You know what I mean? And so we have pastors' wives that, you know, we've had conversations and just different things, just to see where we are, to be transparent. Not saying that we, you know, we don't like, of course, you know, we love where we are, but it comes, you know, times where we're like, okay. And so now we joke about it, be like, you better not say nothing. You don't want God to get you. You know, you don't want God, you don't want to mess up with God with his assignment, you know. And so that's it. Just, you know, inbox me. Come on and fill my book up to the end of the year. And so yeah, that's it.
I love it, and I love all of the extra comments that you made. These definitely poignant things, and that's why I said break your pens and your pads out, ladies and gentlemen. You should be writing this down, or go back and watch this whole thing over again. See what I did there. Anyway, it was definitely a pleasure chatting with you. Definitely, Pastor Lamont. If you still on, man, I definitely would love to have you on this thing as well too, because you got all of the jewels over here. He said, "Good conversation. Women and men of color have been through much, which makes us who we are. Therefore, we are threat. We are threat to those who are threatened by us. Knowing our role and place is key. This was an example of togetherness, unity, and support from a black male and female. We must learn to come together as people and support each other. And those are firm words of wisdom, and I formally invite him on. Should the testimony and the spirit move him, to feel free to reach out. I'd love to have you on so we could talk and conversate as black men about what's going on out in these streets, for
Amen.
real.
I give a shout out to my husband because he just graduated with his master's degree from Liberty University. I am so
Congratulations.
that was a hard job, I'm sure it was, studying and all that good stuff every day. And I was missing him, but I knew he was on assignment. So I would go to work, he would do what he had to do and study every day. And some days we didn't see one another because when he came in from, studying and everything, I was asleep. But I knew that it was his assignment at the time, and so I'm really proud of him that he did that. And so shout out to my husband.
I love it. I love it. And I definitely want to say this one last thing too before I let you go. And it's just the spirit moved me to say this. You mentioned the importance of therapy. You mentioned the importance of kind of like self awareness and self healing, a la through the term, like you said, where are you?
Mhm.
Being able to know and assess where you are. And to me, I just liken that to automobiles. You can't drive a car and not service it. It
Absolutely.
will it will break down on you.
I
And
believe
we
the therapist. That's just my opinion. It's nothing like going talking to someone who do not know you. They cannot pass judgment. You can give them all your stuff, walk out, do like I do, get your iced tea, it's over. They get paid a lot of money to take all our stuff, right?
right.
And just release it. Everyone need a therapist. Donnie back in the day, they used to call them psychiatrists. Oh, they crazy. They go to a psychiatrist. Let me tell you, I said I need to call mine's back. Yeah, because I got some stuff I need to tell. Yeah.
Indeed. Well, me too. I got a lot of stuff to unpack for sure.
Right.
But I gotta say, we are at time. I definitely you are invited back as well. Anytime that you have something that you wanna share,
Right.
feel free. Reach out. I'll be more than happy to have you on. Just all I gotta do is schedule you in. But it's been a pleasure. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. I have Lady J's math at the bottom. You can find her show. Where are you on Facebook? 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yes.
Ah,
Thank you for getting up early. Because let me tell you, you had to get up pretty early because this
yep,
was a 3-hour difference. Thank
yep,
you.
yep. But but if I get to tell my testimony, Donnie gonna get up. I
But
don't care what that. I
amen.
don't care what that. Well, without further ado, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, we are at the end of our show. It was a blessing. Make sure, like I said, you like, follow, and subscribe, Lady J. Make sure if you ever in town, make sure you show support, and follow Pastor Lamont Jefferson. Make sure that you uplift us all, man. We just the world needs more loving. Okay, just everybody just love each other, man. It's just it's so much space and opportunity. Might as well use that space and just fill it with love and light, and just see how your life changes. I guarantee you it will. With all that being said, like I said, I am Donnie B. Got the Beats. Make sure you follow the Beat on the Beat TVLA on all social media, every single one of them. We out there in these streets, and stay tuned for the next episode. Well, that's all I got to say. We are at time, and I am out. It's been a pleasure. I will talk to everybody soon.
Thank
Peace,
you.
ladies and gentlemen. We are out.
Donnie B. GotDaBeats.